Monster Craft Adventures. Today we'll be crafting with caffeine, which here at Monster Craft Adventures we drink coffee and craft, and we'll answer some important questions that people have asked us, and it's just a little time to have some fun. So today we have to have our craft first of all, which is a sculpture of a digital art character that my wife did with her new art pad. And it is a dinosaur slash puppy. And we're going to paint this today after it's already been base coated with a brown. So now that we got this together, let's get some colors laid out and we'll start answering some questions.
What colors are you using today?
First I'm going to use a white because of the orange that I'm using. Going over top of such a dark color, it would take several coats of orange, and the white will just make it go on a little easier. So we're going to kind of dry brush some white over top of the whole thing and then go in and do the orange. Been very excited about painting this character. We have a lot of cool ideas for the future. Today we have an audience. Our 8-month-old is sitting in with us today.
She is getting monstrously impatient. Right. So what got you into sculpting or crafting in general?
I've always been kind of artistic. Growing up I was always drawing or painting, but I always test myself to see if there are things that I can or cannot do, and I've always had encouragement growing up that if there was something I wanted to try it. So I tried sculpting and I really enjoyed it. It's been very therapeutic to me. Being able to use my hands and things, being disabled, has been very nice, to say the least.
Now, did you have somebody teach you how to do these things?
No, actually, most things are self-taught. Sometimes I learn a lot by doing research, basically a rough idea of how other people do it, and then I kind of go in and do it my own way.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully our channel grows in the next 5 years and we can really improve on our content, the quality of our content. Just starting out, I'm finding is quite a big challenge. People don't give YouTubers enough credit for how much work goes into doing a channel, or even just a small video for that matter. It takes a lot of work.
In this process, have you reached out to any of the YouTubers?
Yeah. Some of my inspirations have been Jazza, incredible artist, has grown his channel to an extreme. Very impressed with his content and his enthusiasm, and he really makes it just a fun channel. Another one of my popular favorites, and again, these are not affiliated with me at all. These are just my personal opinions. But the Nerdy Crafter, Jackie, very inspirational. Really was a big thing, you know, seeing someone else who had issues with their health and things, being able to get on here and do this really encouraged me myself to do this as well. And then another inspiration is I like people who take stuff that's not necessarily what you would consider a craft and turn it into a craft. And Graveyard Loon is another one of my favorites that does that. We'll take odds and end things like what we're doing here and turn them into something else. So yeah, those are just a few of my inspirations.
So do you think it's safe to say that you creating this channel has been inspired by some of the other YouTubers?
Oh, definitely. But I would have to say my biggest inspiration for starting this channel was not YouTubers. It was actually my family, my wife, my children, and people in my family who I've made things for, who said, hey, this is what you should be doing. And showing other people what you can do. really inspiring.
What is your favorite thing to do craft-wise?
I like to character sculpt. Create something and give it a personality, a backstory, a whole character. I really enjoy some of my characters, and actually I got some of them sitting out here.
What kind of content would you like to continue to have for this channel?
Very family oriented craft projects and things like that, because to me family is super important. To me, crafting with my family is what makes crafting so much fun.
So would it be safe to say that you're trying to inspire other families to get together and do some of your crafts?
Definitely. I think I would like to encourage everybody to do more artistic work, and even people who think they're not artistic. We're going to be doing crafts that anybody can do and can have fun doing, and sometimes just taking the time out to do something new is good quality time. And I think that's very important to share in content, is that the things that we do here are things that you can do together. You don't have to be the best sculptor to enjoy sculpting. I'm by far not the best, but I do enjoy it, and I enjoy doing it with my family and doing like what we're doing here today, and taking a drawing that my wife did and turning it into an actual object that you can play with. If our kids get it and play with it, they can play with it. It's just one of those things that it's all what someone's imagination holds. And not everybody's imagination. There's going to be people who like my characters. There's going to be people who don't like my characters. I mean, everybody's tastes are different. I more fall on the creatures and the monstrous, and sometimes they turn out cute, sometimes they turn out very scary looking. I say that my sculpts take on their own personalities halfway through the sculpt, and they kind of let me know which way they're going to go. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm sculpting until I just start throwing clay or epoxy sculpt on something, and it kind of just takes its own shape.
So for this particular project, what did you use to sculpt?
I used epoxy sculpt which is a two-part epoxy sculpt. You got a part A and a part B, and you just take equal amounts out, and I used it in the duplicate video, and now I'm just using folkart acrylic paints to paint it, and then I will Mod Podge the whole thing. I have clear coated it with a clear coat spray before. So I mean, there's various ways of doing these things. Some people may not like the folkart paint. It's preference, and do what's comfortable to you. Now, I will say epoxy sculpt is a lot more flexible than, say, polymer clay. It has to be baked in the oven. Of course, you can't put a plastic toy in the oven, so there's a lot more flexibility as far as what you can use it for. It's weatherproof. It's, waterproof once it's cured. So, I mean, there's a lot more you can do and with the product itself.
But with this epoxy sculpt, is it flexible?
No, it is not flexible. I'm actually working with a new thing for me. It's new for me anyways. There's probably some of you guys out there who have used it. Cause clay, which is a flexible polymer clay. I absolutely love the product. Again, not sponsored or affiliated by them, but definitely one of my favorite clays to use, especially when you're used to using something that's brittle and breaks really easy. It can be very depressing. especially having young children in the house. Things get broken. So using the cause clay kind of helps with things not being destroyed. All right, so real quick, I've just lightly dusted this with some white paint and kind of just dry brushed over so I still have my dark details underneath. But I did this so that my orange will show up much easier without having to use so many coats of orange over the dark brown. Oh, and you can't craft without coffee. Sorry, you just can't. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Down in the comments, let us know what kind of coffee you like, or if you don't like drinking coffee, maybe you like tea, or maybe you like caffeine drinks, like energy drinks or something. Very curious how many of you like coffee and how many of you like other drinks. Now we're going to take the orange and I'm just going to dry brush very lightly over top of this white. And there are going to be parts of this that I'm going to have to go back and touch up, of course, because I'm a messy painter. If you mess up, not a big deal. Just go back and you can always fix it. It's not like it's completely destroyed. When I was younger, if I messed up on something, I just thought it was the end of the world. And I was very impatient, and I just encourage people to just stay very patient and realize that when it comes to the paint part, it can be fixed.
So, what would you like to tell us about yourself?
For you guys out there who want to know more about the Monster Crafter, I'd have to say that I am a toy collector. I collect 80s toys such as He-Man, Thundercats. I love Ninja Turtles, but I'm a big outdoorsy person too, so I like spending a lot of time outside, so don't be surprised that on this channel we do a lot of outdoorsy crafts. Another thing about me is, again, I like doing things with my family. I like doing family projects and going on family outings with my kids and my wife. And what are some of the things that you guys may do or get into? Are any of you big He-Man collectors? I just know that from my first video there were some comments from some of you that were very incredible. Thank you, by the way, for being so positive. But any of the things that, like what we're doing here with the epoxy sculpt, is all custom work. This was a Secret Life of Pets toy that came from a thrift store, and I call it my monster graveyard of toys, where my family brings me toys that have been discarded, and there's even toys that my kids have no longer play with, or maybe broken, that I can turn into something else and bring new life back to it.
What is your favorite thing for us to bring back?
For you to bring back, I would have to say He-Man, but that doesn't happen.
To work on?
To work on, I would have to say, believe it or not, baby dolls. Baby dolls are, they're posable, but they're easy to sculpt on, and they're kind of limitless to, if you use your imagination, you can create stuff. And that's what I like to do. I like to take stuff and make it my own, and future videos you'll see exactly what I mean by that. We have done a lot of projects in the past with dolls, making mogwais like Francis here, to where kids can actually play with them and they're posable. And I'll tell you now, children are amazing when it comes to, if you're a character creator, they will let you know real fast if that character is any count or is a fleeting passing memory. because I've created characters that my children absolutely love, and then their characters, they're just like, they don't even give them a second thought, but still, yet they're my creations, and I love them all.
Well, I mean, just because, our children don't like them doesn't mean there isn't any children that's going to like them.
Correct. I am the Frankenstein of toys. I love creating monstrous creatures, and don't get me wrong, I've created other things that aren't so scary and monstrous.
I think this one is kind of cute.
Yes, this one is a cutesy character.
All things to me. I take full credit.
Marcy here is pretty cool. Now my wife will have to come up with her own background story for this character, but this was definitely a intriguing project when she showed me her character. Very proud of my wife. She is trying something new, and using a digital art pad and trying to do some digital art. And she she is an amazing charcoal drawing artist, and she can really make beautiful pieces of art, but like me, I'm not very tech savvy, so she is actually more than I am. Thanks to her, she does all the editing to this, or, well, it would be a horrendous mess. But even she's still learning the editing process, but she's done really good. But even she can tell you that she learns something new every time she goes to edit one of our videos. And I can hear her laughing 3 rooms away when she finds something like a voice changer that changes your voice to sound like a bag full of chipmunks being smashed on a rock.
Or like, almost like Darth Vader in there going, roar. It is quite fun. It can be. It can also be very stressful from time to time. When you come across something you want to change or make different, but you're not exactly sure how to do it.
That brings up the point. Earlier in this video, I told you that I give total props to YouTubers. People don't understand how much work goes into these videos, and to do what they do, and it truly is an art form all in itself. It really is. But like all my crafting things, I usually don't give up until I get them somewhat under control, and I'm finding this one to be quite a challenge, and I love a challenge.
Which would you prefer? Would you prefer, like, if somebody was to give you a drawing, or if somebody was to give you just characteristics, sorry, which would you prefer to draw, or not draw, but sculpt off of?
Believe it or not, I like both ways, but I really do just like for someone to give me a verbal description of something, and I go in and use my imagination and use their description to come up with something totally off the wall, which is one of my favorite challenges. Is, and we're actually going to do a lot of that on this channel, is a description challenge. We'll take and just draw random body parts and colors and things, and we'll put them together and make one creature, and we'll do something like that.
When you say draw, you don't mean like actually draw. You mean like pull out of a hat or a
Yeah.
bucket of some sort.
Yeah, we'll do a drawing, like a lottery type deal.
You wish.
Yeah, me, yes, lottery. And again, I always ask, is there anything that you would like to see us do here on this channel as craft-wise, or some kind of content that you guys would personally like to see? Because I'm all for a challenge, so please challenge me by giving me some ideas for content that you guys would personally like to see, and you can laugh at me while I try to do it. Maybe you all can kind of give me an idea of some things that you like to sculpt, or what you like to draw. I like comical characters. Even though they're monstrous, I do like for their backstories to have some kind of humor to them. So definitely, you know, if you all have any comical backstories to go with some of these characters, please feel free to let us know. And we can have you as a help us creating certain characters that we're producing here. And definitely, you know, if you like a character, let us know. Give us feedback. That will help us decide whether or not certain characters we do merchandise for you guys. If you really like a character, be sure to let us know, because it'll really help us make sure that we produce things that you guys really like and enjoy.
And if you guys are interested in any certain thing that we don't have up, let us know. Let us know what you'd like.
Definitely.
And we will see what we can do.
And I do read the comments, guys. I love the feedback. I love to hear what you guys think. So definitely don't be afraid to leave a comment. Make sure to hit the like button there, smash it like a monster, and hit the subscribe button so you can be caught up on all of our content when it comes out. And we will make sure that we do more of these coffee and crafting sessions where it's caffeine and crafting, guys. We'll get monstrous with it. We'll get crazy. We'll have some laughs. And see, now she's starting to look like her drawing a little bit. Slowly but surely, she's coming around. She's coming around.
Are you going to change her eye color?
Yes, I am going to be changing the eye color. Now, I didn't create the eyes for this one. Usually I make my own resin cabochons. But this character already had some really cool eyes to work with.
It kind of already goes with the drawing.
Yes. So, I didn't have to change those. So, now I'm going to take this yellow, and I'm going to be doing some of the highlights by dry brushing in like the insides of the ears, things like that. Definitely adds a little bit of character and depth to the piece. and it also goes with the drawing. We'll also do some of the patches on here. Our little character here has patchwork. Now,
if I remember correctly, I don't think the patch on the front was yellow. I'm pretty sure it was about the same color of its eyes.
Alright, well, we can definitely fix that. Now, this character has red, monstrous eyes. So that's what I'm doing right now, is doing some eye work here. And I can actually do a video, if you guys would like, on how I make cabochon eyes for my sculptures. If that's something you're interested in, definitely let us know. And I'll link all of the things in the description that I used here to create this sculpture. Just to give you some ideas on what you may be able to use. Yes, the caffeine and crafting video, the next one, I do have a good idea of what I would like it to be. I'm going to have a special guest with me that in the next video. Someone very, very crafty, very unique, and we are going to be doing a special project that, again, big secret. So if you really want to see what it is and who my special guest is, you all just have to check us out the next caffeine crafting video, because we have a very special craft that we're going to be working on. A craft that will be a big part of our caffeine crafting videos. All right. Now, guys, this part is just going in and doing some detail pieces. Yeah, details can sound like that sometimes. Let me know what y'all think once this project's done. If I did a good job and did her artwork justice, definitely want to know what you all think. And I gotta give a big shout out to my wife, who, again, done a wonderful job on creating this character. It's been a lot of fun sculpting it and creating it for her in 3D form here.
I could tell you it definitely did not start out with the I did not start out with the idea of it being a dinosaur puppy looking thing. If I'm to be honest, I started out with the idea of making a fox, and this is what I got.
That is so Monster Crafter, because I do that a lot. I start out with the idea that I'm going to create one thing, and it may turn out to be something else when I'm totally done with it. which is okay. Because sometimes, most of the time, whatever it turns out to look like, even though it may not look like my original idea, it usually turns out really, really nice and probably better than what I originally planned it to look like anyway. Again, just have fun with it, use your imagination, and you can create some really cool stuff, guys. You just gotta jump into it. And I will say, I hear people say all the time that clay and sculpting is very intimidating to them. Don't let it intimidate you. I mean, you just gotta give it a shot and really push it to the limits. I will say one of the biggest tips I can give you on sculpting, and you can sculpt with anything. I've sculpted with popsicle sticks, toothpicks, my fingers. You don't necessarily have to have tools, but tools do make it a little better. And you can go to any craft store, your local Hobby Lobby, Amazon, and buy silicone sculpting tools. And they're just silicone tipped tools that are absolutely phenomenal when you're working with epoxy sculpt. I'm fairly new to using epoxy sculpt, and I'm a big fan of this stuff. I can go through quite a bit of this stuff in a very short time. But it is so much fun. Because
we're talking 4 pounds in less than a week.
Yes. But that wasn't like one project. That was like several.
Still, you went through 4 pounds of epoxy in just shy of a week.
Yes. She's not joking. I can go through this stuff pretty quick. And it's the same way with polymer clay. If I'm on a roll, I will go through material pretty fast. So I'm not gonna tell you that it is a cheap hobby to do, because it is not. But there are more expensive hobbies out there. I mean, really, there is.
And if you're somebody other than my husband that doesn't use it, but here and there, or for just little projects, or if you just get together once a week, it would probably last you a lot longer than it lasts my husband, my monstrous husband.
And she's not joking. I do go through a lot of this stuff really fast. But guys, I'm very passionate about what I do.
Very.
And I'm proud of what I do. And you got to take pride in your work. You really do. Now in the drawing, she's just a base coat color. She has no highlights, nothing like that. But she's also not in 3D proportions, so I am going to give some little highlights around the face, just for some dimension. Not too much. Like I said, I'm just, because I'm not wanting to alter the character in any way. I just want to bring out some of the characteristics that are shown. All right. So now that we're getting somewhere as far as this character is starting to look more and more like it's supposed to. She is starting to look like her character on paper. So, you are the artist who created this character. What do you think so far?
I think it's getting there.
You think she looks cute?
Yes.
Awesome. And to me, guys, when I do artwork for other people, and I do a lot of consignment art for people, one of the biggest satisfactions I get is their reaction when they get the pieces of art that I've made. I recently just did a mogwai for a young lady, and her reaction was priceless. And knowing that that young lady is going to cherish that toy for a very long time was very satisfying to me, and makes me very happy. And again, is why I take a lot of pride in my work, because of the happiness art can bring to other people. My children never cease to amaze me when it comes, our 5-year-old, for example. If it was up to her, our entire house, not just our refrigerator, but our entire house would be covered in drawings.
Everything, our walls, and I'm not kidding, our walls, our doors, our windows, our everything. Couch, even. I mean, I'm sure you parents out there understand that and have been through that.
But, encourage your children to be creative and to get out there and really have no limits to what they do, because kids need some outlet other than video games and sitting in their rooms all the time. They need to get their hands dirty. They need to get messy and be kids. And have an imagination, because an imagination will get them far in life.
Being creative in general will get them far.
Yes. And if they want to grow up and be video game designers, encourage that. If they want to be a race car driver, encourage that. Just because it may not be your dream or what you feel is a good career choice, you just kind of got to, let them have their own path. And
that's not saying that their path won't change, that their idea of what they want to do won't change, because I'm pretty sure a 5-year-old has had like 100 different career paths that she's wanted, or she wants them all.
Yeah.
So
her newest one is very awesome. She wants to be She-Ra.
That or a wrestler.
Yeah. Yes, my daughter wants to be a professional wrestler.
WWE is what she says.
Yes, she wants to be a WWE champion. But, again, it's one of those things. Kids do change their mind a lot.
I think she tries to change her mind when she gets wrestling with us and realizes she loses.
Career choice.
Denied.
Definitely encourage your children to be the best they can be and be as creative as they can be. Alright, and that's it for this. And now what I will do is I'm going to cover this in Mod Podge and coat it one good time. But there you go, guys. There's our little character. Alright there, guys. Thank you for Caffeine and Crafting with Monster Crafter. And we'll see you next time.